Hello everyone, my name is Ajinkya Magar. I am from software department and today I am going to explain about for loops in Python programming. So let's get started. This is the first slide in which we are going to see why for loops matters in the Python programming or any programming language. So there are 3 points which are enlisted here. Let me read it one by one. The first one is repetition, that is repetition made easy. Loops let you run the same code multiple times without writing it over and over again. Then there is automation power, automatically process data, performs calculation or handles tasks that need to happen many times. Then the smarter code writes less code than does more work, and then perfect for processing lists, files, and large data sets efficiently. Basically, in the note, you can see here that instead of writing 100 lines of codes, you can just write 3 to 4 lines of codes and iterate through it n number of times. So basically, loop saves the times and space while writing the code. On the next slide, you can see what actually for loop is. There is a definition. A for loop is a control flow statement that lets you execute code repeatedly for each item in a sequence. Basically, in sequence, we can use list, sets, tuple, then ranges. So basically, data of a similar or variable data type. Then there is a key characteristic. You can actually see the four key characteristics of the for loop. First one is knows exactly how many times to run, then automatically manages to loop counter, stops when the sequence ends, and it is perfect for processing items in list, counting through numbers and repetitive actions basically. So in the note you can see sequence can be list, range, string or any collection. Loop variable takes each value automatically. Basically in the data of whatever sequence we are using, it runs through each value for each iteration a single time basically. Now let's go to next slide. So on this slide, you can see the syntax has been explained here. So basically on the top corner, you can see for variable in sequence. This is a basically universal syntax for the for loop. And there is colon and then actual code is written inside the for loop after the colon. Basically this statement and more statement. This is going to be the main code of the for loop, which will be iterated a n number of times. Uh, which n can also be given, it can be predefined or it can be given by user also. By predefined, I mean to say it can be initialized before using into for loop basically. So there are few keywords used in the while writing the for loop, that is for variable, sequence, indentation, and there is colon, and you can actually see why and where they are used. So variable is a temporary container that contains or holds each item for each iteration or during the iteration. Basically these are the explanations of each keyword used here for declaring or writing the for loop in the Python. Now on this slide, you can see how for loop works. So the first step is initialization. For loop begins or when the variable is also set up at the beginning or initialization stage of this. Sequence is also added to an for loop in the initialization state. Then there is execution. Basically, the code gets run for each iteration. Then updatation. In the update process, basically next iteration runs basically what I mean to say is when the previous iteration completes, next iteration goes on to execution. So that is called as updatation. Then the check. So uh, for loop has a condition. So if condition doesn't satisfy, the for loop gets stopped. Basically, for here in Python, if the sequence ends, then for loop stops basically. Then you can see note, that is a variable name can be anything like ij, item, any arbitrary name can be variable name. Basically mostly programmers use I or j, basically simple alphabet for the iterator or variable. Let's go to next slide. Now you can actually see an example here. The Python code is written for I in range 1 to 6, print I. So what happens here is it prints 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6 is excluded. and basically the stopping number gets excluded. Basically, you can actually see note here, and before going to note, you can see output 1 2 3 4 5 just below the Python code. Then there is note range 1 to 6 generates 1 2 3 4 5, not 6. The first iteration is I is equals to 1 and the second I is equals to, and henceforth. The colon and indentation are crucial while writing the for loop. So uh, don't forget to just add an indentation and colon. It gives an error if it's not added. Now, real life loop examples, I can read two of them. First is counting numbers, like counting from 1 to 100 at school. Loop automatically counts for you instead of writing 100 print statements. Then call attendance, teacher calls each student name in roll call order. The loop processes each name in the class list one by one. Basically, these are some real life applications or real life examples of Python for loop. Uh, then there is advantages of for loop. You can actually see here it is efficient. The main or basically many students don't know that for loop also improves the efficiency of code. Processes large data sets quickly. Then perfect for working with list arrays, files, and databases where you need to handle many items, and thus increases the proficiency. The efficiency. Then easy updates. Changing the loop changes the its execution for each iteration. So it's easy to make changes for 100 executions of iterations. Then clean code, basically the same thing, that 100 line of code uh, feels messy enough, but just 3 line of code makes it clean, and basically it takes low space and also time complexity. Basically time complexity doesn't reduce, but it takes less space, so basically less messy code is formed. Now, key takeaways from these. So basically this is the summary of what I have explained in this PPT explanation. So you can actually take a screenshot or read it here. So that's all from my side in the for loop explanation. I hope I could be making further videos on other topics of Python programming. So thank you.